6 things you didn't know about Africa's wealthiest individual, who is also Nigeria's wealthiest individual. How someone built a $30 billion empire just from a $3,000 loan. Yeah, this is how he built a commercial empire. Let's get into it. Yeah, did you know that Aliko Dangote was born into a wealthy family? Yeah, he was born into a wealthy family such that even his great-grandfather was one of the wealthiest people in West Africa, who was the one who formulated the Dantata movement. Aliko Dangote's father was, who was also known as Dangote, was a prominent figure was prominent in politics and was also wealthy, by the way. Formed the structure that we see Dangote even achieving now and helped him even get to where he was. Yeah, that's it about the historical part, but let's now get into his
Okay, so Aliko Dangote grew up in a wealthy family, as was said in the first clip. Yeah, so Aliko Dangote was raised by his grandfather, but also had a father, but who was mainly busy with the family business. So Aliko Dangote grew up helping his grandfather selling commodities and different things until when he was 8 years old, he collected enough money to start selling. He started by buying sweets and giving them to his workers to sell for him. It was a pretty smart move just for a kid. He had a business mind even as a child. So yeah, Aliko Dangote grew up that way. And after Aliko reached Okay, so when Aliko reached 18 after finishing his school and graduating, Aliko decided to go and study in Egypt at Hassan University, where he studied trading and business, and later, after graduating, continued with his business mindset. Yeah.
So after getting his business degree, he went to his family and asked his uncle for a $3,000 loan at the time, and then he went to Lagos, which was the business hub of that time. Then he started trading commodities, importing them and then selling them to others. He imported stuff like rice, sugar, and fish. Yeah. Then in he continued in he started in 1977, and by the time it was in the 1980s and 90s, he changed his perspective of doing something different. But before we get to that, uh, in the same time, his business grew such that he even began manufacturing of cement by the 1980s and 90s. Although business was not successful, economy was in the ups and downs, he still managed to push past it.
Okay, so Aliko Dangote thought thought about it clearly after this trading. After continuing to trade, he thought, why import goods when they can just be produced locally and reduce costs? So Ali could decide to begin manufacturing, but first he decided to go and study manufacturing to better understand it, and so that he shouldn't get scammed during his manufacturing years. So Aliko Dangote went to university and studied for a bit, came back and began manufacturing. He manufactured goods like cement, sugar, uh, and so on. And now he is the he manufactures 83% of all goods in the entire Africa. That's a high feat he achieved. Yeah, and so
You would think that it would be enough controlling all of these manufacturing of rice, cement, and all of that, but he expanded his wealth even further, creating an oil refinery in Nigeria. Of course, people thought it was crazy, but now look, it is making up almost all of his net worth. He to date, Aliko Dangote is worth $28 billion. He is on the top 100 wealthiest people as of March 2025. I bet you didn't know that he had a generous side. Stick to the end to find out.
okay, let's talk about the philanthropy part of Aliko Dangote. So in 1994, Aliko Dangote created his foundation, which is known as the Dangote Foundation, which helped the poor, also donated to clinics, hospitals, helped the crippled, and so on, orphans, everything. So Aliko Dangote did have a good side, even though he was a billionaire and a rich person. I'm guessing since while growing up, Aliko Dangote encountered different kinds of people. He grew a soft heart for such people. So Aliko Dangote in somewhere in the 20s also decided to donate to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to help fight Ebola and COVID-19. Yeah, and so that's all for Aliko Dangote. Please, okay, so watch this video if you want to watch the story of how Zambia's richest president. So click the thumbnail on the screen for you to know the history of Zambia's richest man and Zambia's richest president.